If you're ready to take back control of your health, you're in the right place. Welcome to Awaken Wellness with me, Tanya Candy, registered nurse and health coach. Now, I'm not your typical nurse. I consider myself divorced from traditional healthcare. I broke free of the sick care system in 2019 when I realized that the root cause to my sickness, my autoimmune disease, and my chronic pain was me. If you're ready for truth, for clarity, for honesty in a tough, love, compassionate way, I'm the coach for you. Join me while we dig into our root causes of sickness and disease. All right, we are live, streaming out. I've got TikTok camera over here. I've got Facebook camera over here. My lighting is not as great as I hoped it will be, but let's go through it. Let's power hour. So this is my open office hours with me, Nurse Tanya from Awaken Wellness. I set this time aside for everyone in my community, whether you're actually physically doing programs with me or you're just following me on social media. I take questions. So the big question, I got some great questions in my email. So awesome. It is always full moon, right? Monday was the full moon. Today, last night, probably tonight, it still looks pretty full, right? So that detox and parasite cleansing is my jam. That is how I restored my own health. That is what led me to becoming practitioner. Was my own sickness. My fibromyalgia was out of control. I thought I was going to have back surgery. I had IBS my whole adult life and insatiable heartburn. In my 20s, my 30s, I've done Diet Coke, junk food, the American Standard Diet, and stress did all the things. Had the divorce, went back to college, worked 2 jobs, raised kids by myself. Really, I know everybody's got their stress, but that was real. That stress was real. So it's the stress of those go, raise your family, work, get it done years that really mess up our health when we start to hit 40, when we start to hit 50, and sometimes before. Sometimes before. A lot of my clients are more kind of in my age group. They're trying to get rid of autoimmune disease. They're trying to get their energy back. They've been to the doctor. They've had their labs work done. And then the doctor's like, you're fine. You're fine. I don't know. Come back when you're sicker. Maybe we can help you, right? Or maybe, your numbers were teetering. So they're like, sure, we'll put you on some levothyroxine. What the heck? Maybe it'll help, right? But so you get on it and it doesn't help. You don't feel any better. You still depleted. You've got ambitious goals. You're just cruising, right? You're just getting steam in your career. The kids are growing up. They're getting more independent. You just now can do what you want to do, but you don't have the energy to do it, right? So that makes you, if that is you, if I'm speaking right to you, that makes you a perfect candidate for my really ultra deep dive detox and parasite cleanse. Now, I am a practitioner. I use medical grade quality products that are not made by 3-letter agencies, right? Don't have toxins in. Cellular is my main jam for this detox. If I'm speaking to you and you are basically healthy, you just need your energy back, I've got a DIY program that you go through 120 days. You follow the diet recommendations that I give you. You follow my videos. All the information is there. You don't need appointments. You can totally do it like college level. Go through it on your own. I have the class set up. If you need me, you just reach out and schedule a DIY appointment. So if you would like to know more about that, go to my website. It's Awaken Wellness LLC. There's links in my bios. And then go to that DIY. There's an information tab. You're just going to click it. You can go to either the telemedicine packages and scroll way down, and you'll find out how to DIY that. Or you can click the Cellcore DIY tab. There's other offerings. So today we're going to talk a lot about the parasite cleanse. So yes, absolutely. Everybody, this is it. All right, this camera, you with me? This camera, you're with me? This is a test for parasites. Everybody wants to know how to test for parasites. How do we test for parasites? This is it. This is how you test. Put your fingers right here and get kind of quiet and wait. You got it? You feel that? Did you try it over here, TikTok? You feel that? If you found your pulse, you have parasites. Period. That's the test. Everybody has them. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to think about it. But they are the root cause to most every, that's not going to work, sickness and disease in your body. Parasites and toxins, things that are not supposed to be in your body. Our world is so toxic. Like there's no way to get around. So when I really started my deep parasite journey, it's been years, and I was lousy with them, and I had really bad autoimmune disease. Not everybody is as lousy with them as I was. So everybody's at a different level, but I guarantee you, it doesn't matter your age. We passed them down to our babies. The toxin, babies get the mother's toxic load. So yes, everybody has got parasites, right? There's a couple of comments. Let me try to go find them. What do I think about carnivore way of life? Shelly, I like carnivore. I think that you probably can't stay healthy and stay there, but going carnivore for a period of time will get some stuff fixed in your body. I don't think it's good to stay there for life, but I do think you can do a lot of healing when you're on carnivore. You have to be aware that, like some CANCER can be protein driven, so it might not be the best in all situations, but for the majority of people, need to get away from carbs and need to get away from sugar. Yeah, I think so too. Thanks. I value your opinion. Yeah, and when I started getting my wellness education and in this health space, I primarily was first educated by Dr. Patrick Flynn and the Wellness Way, and they are meat eaters. So, like, if I would have had a different introduction to this new perspective, and it like Barbara O'Neill, I love her. Like we all know Barbara's got amazing information, but she is plant-based. She is vegetarian, vegan, however you look at it. For the majority, doesn't eat an egg unless it's, somebody's eggs that she really trusts. So like if she was not my first introduction, I didn't even know who she was on social media. I did get to spend a summer or a week 2 summers ago with her, and that was amazing, sitting under her and learning firsthand. That was amazing, but I knew before I went that we had a difference in opinion about this, how to eat, right? I really believe in a balanced way of eating. I do believe, like, right now, if you're in my Whole Me program, we're doing the Whole30. I am a huge advocate of the Whole30, which is a good variety of foods, but no grains, no sugar, no processed foods. So I think we could live there. I think we could stay there in that Whole30 zone. And like there too, when I spent that time with Barbara for a week eating plant-based, like I expected it, like I knew that was coming. And she's no caffeine for Barbara. So I packed my own. Like I didn't study for that test. I wasn't just going to drop off caffeine and think I was going to have a good week, right? So, but anytime we make big changes in the way we eat, our microbiome can have a little bit of a freak out. You can have constipation, you can have diarrhea because what we normally eat, that's the microbes we have to digest. So like um if you're gonna go more carnivore, if I were you, I would migrate there kind of delicately, right? Like do that Whole 30 first and eliminate your grains and then eliminate your fruits and like kind of do it gently so your microbes have the ability to adjust, right? Because like if we don't ever eat meat, if we are vegetarian, we have microbes. Our bacteria is designed for plants. So if you just drop a big chunk of meat in your digestive system, like it can put everything in kilt in freak out mode, right? So I I appreciate the comment. That's awesome. Comments are welcome. If I miss them, sorry. Hit me with it again because I just don't. I can't really do all of this and scroll back. So if you're here on Facebook, if you're here on YouTube, I want to see you. I want to know that you're here. We are talking about parasites. It was the full moon. So I consider myself like in maintenance, right? It's been almost 3 years that I've been detoxing parasites like pretty hardcore. And my whole life, I will do the full moon. So myself, for me, for my household, for my dog, for my husband, before even I came to be a Cellcore practitioner, which was life changing. That's what got my health back was that detox program. Before I knew about that, before I knew anything about binders or anything like that, I was just doing the dog dewormer. I had a neighbor who I was helping who had colon cancer. And so I had started to learn about fenbendazole and doing these things. So before I knew anything about Cellcore or the polite way to do this, your body, I was doing it the hard way, like the really harsh way. Um, so fenbendazole can be harsh. Like I didn't know about binders and I can't say that my body was having a freak out that I knew about it. My digestion was so crazy that I couldn't tell the difference. But I had already was passing really strange things in the toilet before Cellcore came along. And then when I started combining the fenbendazole with Cellcore, especially the Para One, like the huge ropeworm release. Like, and for me, that was years ago. But what I'm seeing now, still, so like this full moon, I did, just some kind of a few little Cellcore things. Right now, honestly, it depends on what I have open at home, and I muscle test myself. So kind of what I test for, we do a binder, but I will always do the fenbendazole on the full moon for 3 days. So try to be organized and do it the day before, the day of, and the day after. This month I goofed up, so I'm doing it on and then the 2 days after. But I will do that dose. I just prefer for myself, I just use the small dog packet. I mean, honestly, I buy the large dog because it's a little bit more economical, and then I divide it in half. So I will probably always do that. This month for me, what I am still seeing after all of these years, I am still seeing flukes. So flukes, they come in a lot of varieties, a lot of different sizes, a lot of different shapes, and they want to be in your gallbladder. I still have my gallbladder. Praise the Lord. I can't believe it. Um, and they want to be in your liver, they want to be in your pancreas, as well as, they can be intestinal flukes as well. But for my body, even in all this healing process, I'm getting so much better, so much better. But those flukes are still bothering my liver. I can tell because my pathways, I do have MTHFR, so things are more difficult, things are slower. But my body still, I need to do follow up blood work. It's been 6 months or so, but my body, my digestive enzymes, so we can test those in blood, we can test those in stool. Either way, mine are poor, very poor. So my pancreas is sluggish. My pancreas does not want to make the digestive enzymes that I need. So there are two, like right now, I'm doing the Whole30 food program, but it's super important that I take a digestive enzyme before I eat because I can eat organic, beautiful produce all day long. And if my one, digestive enzymes aren't there to start breaking it down, or two, I don't have the right bacteria, I have leaky gut, or like my colon, my compost pile isn't working correctly, then the nutrition's not coming out of your food. So that's something that we really need to keep in mind. If you're like, but I eat really good, why am I not healthy? Well, then we have to work on your gut health because just like a compost pile, the food does not magically come out of, or the vitamins, sorry, do not magically come out of the food when you eat it. Like the microbes have to break it down and release the vitamins. So it's like a fermentation process in your body. It's like your compost pile in your body. It's the microbes have to do their job. They have to be there, they have to be working. Everything has to be working for the nutrition to come out of your food. So that's really important. Then step 2 is the lining of your gut, right? That needs to be that needs to be tight junctions, right? So it needs to be nice and tight. Your gut needs to be not leaking in order for things to work right. Most of us have significant leaky gut, way leakier than we realize. And that is when then your junctions are not tight, right? So your gut lining becomes more like a screen door than a coffee filter. So your food proteins and things that shouldn't get in your bloodstream gets in your bloodstream. That's where inflammation happens. That's where food sensitivities happen, right? We should be able to heal all of that when we heal those tight junctions. So little tips that you can do today to make your gut happier. So like it takes more than just a chamomile tea bag on a dip. It has to be strong. But chamomile, so a good chamomile tea, strong. You have to make it strong or use a few tea bags. Chamomile tea at night will relax you, but it's very healing. There's an herb called albizia that really helps calm down those food sensitivity reactions in your blood. And aloe. So if you get whole leaf organic aloe juice and just do like 4 to 6 ounces of that 1 to 2 times a day. If you think your gut is really leaky, do it twice. If you just are like, well, this could be beneficial, do it once. So those are a few things that you can start doing today. You can get slippery elm. You can get slippery elm in like a leaf form and make it with your chamomile and make it in that tea. You can get it in a powder. Slippery elm literally makes things slippery and it does help heal those junctions in your gut. So that's another thing that you can do. Another free thing that you can do to help heal your gut is for as long as you need to, but minimum 120 days, avoid the 7 most inflammatory foods. So those are going to be sugar, of course. Sugar, number one. Then gluten. And if you're going to go even further, if you know you're a big old mess, do all grains. Avoid all grains. They're inflammatory, period. And we need to calm these things down. Soy is hard to find a good organic source. So again, a lot of vegans eat a lot of weird grain and they eat a lot of soy. If they have leaky gut, this is going to be a problem, right? If their gut is fixed and they're feeling good, then they can probably handle these things. But soy can mess with your hormones, especially if it's a GMO soy. So soy has got to be organic and it's got to be processed in a beautiful manner for it to be beneficial to the body. Yes, it is a good protein, but there's a lot of bad stuff that goes with it. Corn, You stay away from corn. That's corn as a food, corn chips, corn products, corn syrup, corn everything. Super, super inflammatory. And I gotta go faster or I forget. Peanuts, a lot of people don't like to hear that one, but peanuts, we gotta stay away from peanuts. That protein, so peanuts and eggs are both on the list, and I'm gonna tell you a big part of why they're so inflammatory, okay? And this is gonna be hard. Sorry if I offend you. This is gonna be hard for some people to hear. But when we get those shots, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what shot it is, they have you fill out that "Are you allergic to blah, blah, blah" list. They always ask you if you're allergic to corn. No, sorry, not corn. Eggs and peanuts are on that list, or chicken and peanuts are on that list because they use those proteins, like they're giving you a clue. They use those proteins in the ingredients in those shots, and along with the adjuvants and everything else that you're supposed to have an immune response, right? Whatever they're giving you to fortify your immune system, they're they're adding those food proteins in there. So your body automatically is programmed to have an inflammatory response to those proteins, okay? I want you to think about that. Just like, as the years go by, all these kids in schools, you can't even bring anything with peanut into the school because so many kids have anaphylactic peanut allergies. Why? That wasn't like that when I was a kid. So what has changed? Like, why are so many people having anaphylactic food allergies? Peanut is the most common. Egg, very common. And that is why, my friends. Okay, what else was on the list? I totally lost track. Sugar, of course. Gluten, of course. Soy, oh, dairy. Dairy. And dairy, I'm sorry, it's just inflammatory. And yes, even if you've got raw dairy and so you're doing better, you're doing better. I would really encourage you to still take it away at least for 30 days, at least for 30 days, and see how your body responds. Then when you bring these foods back in, you really listen to your body. That's like how we do it with the whole 30, right? So you can do the whole 30, that's a bigger picture, or you can just do these 7 most inflammatory foods. So those are absolutely free resources that anybody can do to start improving their health. All you need is some discipline. Now, and a lot of people will be, I can't afford organic food, and I can't afford this, and I can't afford that. That's, yeah, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to me. So if that budget is that big of an issue, then I want you to fast. Okay? Then I want you to fast. I want you to get where you're going to have to train for it. I want you to get where you're metabolically flexible enough that you can only eat 1 meal a day. And that 1 meal a day is going to be beautiful grass-fed meat and beautiful organic produce. 1 meal a day. So actually, you're saving a ton of money in junk food, in pop, in soda, in drinks that you buy. You're just going to drink purified. My preference is distilled water. And you're going to eat 1 beautiful organic meal a day that does not include those inflammatory foods. I made it super easy. You only have to worry about 1 meal a day, right? Super easy. I just gave you back all this time in the day that you spend in the kitchen or wandering around wondering what you're going to eat, right? So it's all our mindset. It totally depends on how we're thinking about these things, whether or not they're beneficial. So back to the full moon parasite thing. Yeah, like really, if you're a normal, healthy person, jump in, do some fenbendazole. I would advise you to get a binder, for sure. If you have normal formed stools, you probably won't see much. If you've got irritable bowel or you've got a lot of diarrhea or kind of undigested food and stuff like that in your stools, you'll see critters, like you'll see worms. If you're brave and you want to go looking for them, you know, look for them. That's a lot of my community. Like we look, we want to try to figure out what is in there. Myself, oh man, I have, I don't know, I've seen about everything. Well, not about everything. Some of my clients, they've had some stuff come out of them that I've never seen before. So there are so many ways that we can live a parasite free type lifestyle. So the things that parasites love, if you crave sugar like a big dog, so I consider candida a parasite as well. Candida in the foundational process, we don't get to that till like month 4, right? So we do the big stuff in the gut first, and then we work our way up to that cellular level stuff like the candida. So candida, when I say parasite, I mean candida, I mean mold, I mean fungus, all of it. Anything that is stealing from you, that has got a life force of its own, that's living in your body and is out of harmony with you, it's a parasite, period. So what was I saying? Oh, things if you're craving sugar, if you're craving alcohol, if you're an alcoholic and you cannot get a handle on quitting, it's the parasites talking. The sugar, that's the candida talking. Like when you're craving sugar or carbs all of the time, your microbes, like your gut, maybe even your whole body is like sourdough starter at that point. Like when you are growing sourdough, you have to feed it sugar every day to keep it alive and keep it healthy. That's why your body craves sugar. It's not your brain. It's not just your lack of willpower. It's not just your bad habits. It's literally those microbes screaming to be fed. So, and that is the hardest to get rid of. That candida is the hardest level to get rid of. Candida, mold, fungus, they're the hardest. That is advanced level detox that most people can't do on their own. They need to partner with me or somebody like me to really get rid of that stuff. And it can be tricky. You can do a no sugar challenge and you think you got it, but the minute you go back to eating normal and you open that carb door, it just explodes again. It just totally explodes again. So how you really know that you're dealing with parasite, and if you've got restless legs, if especially at night, if you clench your jaw at night or grind your teeth, if you've got a lot of anxiety, like just where you feel like you're just spun out, your brain spun out all the time, if you have no control over your emotions, if you feel like you've got a depressive cloak over you, those are manifestations of parasites. Parasites, oh, they wreak so much havoc. And if you start to pay attention, the new moon is a big thing. They're very active. I think not enough people talk about that, is the new moon and the full moon. And our body, we run on a moon cycle. We don't run on a Gregorian calendar. Like if you want me to go off on that, I will. That Gregorian calendar it's stupid. It is man's interpretation. Women, you run on a moon cycle. Most women either are ovulating or menstruating on your new and your full moons. If you're not, you're messed up. Like just like the tide. The Lord made us to work in these moon cycles. Our hormones and those parasites. So your melatonin and your serotonin rise and fall with those tides. So like some females feel way better, they can finally poop, they get like everything is better finally when they get their menstruation because like their hormones kind of flatline. But if they are paying attention to the rise and fall, that melatonin going up and then the serotonin going down, the parasites love serotonin. So you have more serotonin during the full moon. You have less melatonin. So, and melatonin is really a big part of your immune system, right? Melatonin is one of the most powerful antioxidants. So, as those things are rising and falling, parasites party on that serotonin. They steal it from you and they are partying. So, like when you feel worse, like that is literally their waste. You are getting more waste products, more acid because of the parasite poop and the parasite party that is going on. Craving alcohol, they're talking. Craving sugar, they're talking. So when we start to put these things together, we really have to think of ourselves way more like animals than we would ever want to believe, whether it's our hormone instincts, our bodies, our all of it. And at the core, we are an animalistic nature, right? So we have to stay on top of this parasite thing. Other things parasites hate: papaya seeds. You have to eat the whole seed, like don't chew them, just eat the seed, the jelly capsule. Papaya, pumpkin seed, garlic, raw garlic. We have a thing with kids. I haven't tried it. It's in a neat little book that I have where for kids for parasite cleansing for like 5 days, you feed them all the garlic that you can get into them. No dairy. And parasites love dairy too, especially the ones that hurt your pancreas. Like they love dairy. And yes, they can cause autoimmune disease. They can cause diabetes, those parasites eating away at your body. So, anyway, then you feed the kid all the garlic you can stand for 5 days, all the garlic you can get in them. Then you put them in a milk bath. So a bath, like a kind of a shallow bath, and you put whole milk or cream in the bathtub. So you want it to look pretty creamy. So the ratio is going to depend on how big your tub is and how deep your water is. But those little worms, especially those pinworms that really bother children, will one, you made the environment a place they don't want to be with the garlic. They don't like garlic. They don't want to be there. So then you took away their food source. You didn't feed the kid any sugar or any grains during that time, just garlic, just, just food that the parasites don't like. And then you put them in the bath with this milk, and the parasites will literally live come out the rectum to eat on that milk. So, like, how spooky is that? I have never had enough guts to try it. Even myself, like dead parasites in the toilet, I can handle. Live ones crawling in my bath water, I'm not ready for that. I don't know about you, but I'm not ready for that. So, what is the time? What is the time? I've been on here for about a half an hour. There's no new questions. The original question that I was getting in is just what should I do for the full moon? And this was somebody who had already done the 120-day detox. So that is my standard. Like everybody should do that. And then you live in a place of maintenance every full moon because we have to stay with those eggs. Like I'm telling you, I've been doing this for years. I'm still seeing flukes. That is what they look like, little red sticks in the toilet. If they are in a very early stage, sometimes they can actually look like a mushroom, like a not cooked mushroom or like a canned mushroom. And sometimes they'll look like a t- potato skin. So I don't know why, if that is because of they're dead, but then they kind of flatten out and they have weird dots like eyes on a potato. Those are also in the fluke family. So it's about to go back to my TikTok or my YouTube. I've got a lot of gross poop videos of stuff that came out of me. It's funny, like if you watch my old ones when I had no idea what they were, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, what is all of this stuff? And I mean, just worms of every variety, like just every variety. It was something crazy, and it's been a while since I had um like a almost earthworm, like formed worm looking thing come out of me. But other things, if you've got hemorrhoids, you have parasites, like all that colon stuff, like I don't understand. Like I'd love to talk to some surgeons that do colonoscopies. Why is nobody talking about this stuff? There's no way they don't get there's no way that they don't see it. So I just don't understand why they still think that like people in the United States don't have parasites or something. They can get if you've got arthritis, if you have got arthritis, especially rheumatoid arthritis, you have got parasites in your joint synovial fluid, right? So I'll stand on my soapbox forever and say, your body will never attack itself. The way we define autoimmune disease in the medical community is flat wrong. It's wrong. Your body will not attack itself. Your immune system is desperately trying to protect itself, from something that should not be in there, whether it's a parasite and microscopic. Most parasites are microscopic. You will never see them with the bare eye. They're in your tap water. They're on your food. Like if you are on social media and you see some of those people with the microscopes and they're showing under a microscope pictures of like common things like strawberries and Doritos, and everything that we're eating is crawling with bugs. Like, and that is just what it is. Like me and getting through microbiology and not being a complete germaphobe is a challenge. Like when you like really realize there's bugs everywhere, and it's not a big deal if we have stomach acid. It's not a big deal. That's why you have stomach acid, is to take care of all of the stuff crawling around on your food. And the things that are crawling is one thing, but what about the eggs that you can't see that aren't moving? So that's why we have to have stomach acid. You have to have stomach acid, and then it's not a big deal. Like those things don't get to take up residence in your body. Then you have to keep your body in a state of alkalinity. Parasites don't like alkaline. So you keep your body in a state of alkalinity so they don't get to grow in there. That I alluded to that earlier. That is how I personally got lousy with parasites. It's because I had chronic heartburn in my 20s, in my 30s. It was just insatiable. So I have a hiatal hernia, which there too, a chiropractor can work on. Like these things can be fixed when you figure out what your food triggers are, like black pepper. Whew, that's still a terrible trigger for me. Black pepper will give me heartburn. But I was on Protonix, which is jacked up omeprazole, for like 15 years, took away my stomach acid. So when you don't have stomach acid, bad things happen in your body. Like I say, I still can't believe that I still have my gallbladder. Because if you have lost your gallbladder, one, that was never the problem. Your stomach acid was low, then you'll end up being overweight because it'll mess with your leptin, which is your satiety hormone. It'll mess that up. It'll mess up your digestive enzymes. It'll mess up your gallbladder, and parasites will clog up your gallbladder. And gallstones, they have nothing to do with your gallbladder. Those are toxins that your body cleverly wrapped in cholesterol to protect you, not to hurt you. Your body is trying to protect you. So, like I was saying earlier, autoimmune disease, if you have autoimmune disease, your body is trying to clean itself. It is trying to get something out of there. Yes, and that is very inflammatory, but it's not your body's fault. It's trying to get that out. But one, you're not asking what the problem is. You're not asking the right questions. You're not asking your body what's in there that I need to get out. Or food allergies, that leaky gut, and then those proteins are leaking into your bloodstream all day, every day. So your body has to clean them up. Just like if you had a scar or were bleeding on the outside, your immune system lays down a scab and it fixes it. The same thing happens inside of our body where we can't see. If we have leaky gut, like the holes, right? And then the food proteins get in your blood, they're not supposed to be there. So your immune system says, alert, 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 and sends in the cleanup crew. During that cleanup process, it's an inflammatory response. And if this just happens every now and then, it's not a big deal, just like the cut on your hand. But if you had a little tiny, like every time that you ate gluten or something that you were sensitive to, you got a little sticker and you eat it 3 times a day, 7 days a week, pretty soon your hand is puffy and inflamed and it's going to be infected. So that's what's going on inside of our body where we can't see it. So we have to figure out what our food allergies are. If we're in trouble, if we have autoimmune disease, we have to figure out what our food allergies are. We have to shut down this leaky gut so our immune system can rest, so it will stop being under attack mode. It's not your body is not trying to hurt you. It is trying to protect you from you. It's trying to protect you from you. Your body is only a product of its environment, of what you expose it to, what you put in it, what you put on it, the things that you breathe. Your body is all you're doing. You have you have so much more control over your health than you think. So that, friends, is where I'm going to wrap that up. I want to give you a couple of invites to work with me. Like if what I'm saying is resonate with you, I do intensive one-to-one coaching. I use bioenergetic testing. I use muscle testing. I use blood work. I use stool. I use saliva. It all depends on how difficult of a case you are, what tools we need to crack it. If you feel pretty good, you feel like you can, navigate some stuff because you watch enough TikTok videos, right? Or you watch enough social media that you think you have all the answers, then I have some really easy DIY options that you can get started. I have made like little master classes. So it's like going to college, right? You get there, you get your syllabus, you do the courses, you do the work, you make the grades. So that's like college level stuff. Show up when you want. It's a complete free for all. My one-to-one is a little bit more like kindergarten. It's a lot more hand holding. Like if you're afraid, if you're new to all this, if you don't want to sort it out all on your own, or if you had been trying for years, thinking you knew everything because you listen to Barbara and you watch all the people on TikTok, but none of it's working and you just keep making a mess, or you're like, oh, now I saw this video and oh, now that's what I need. So you're always just stirred up and you're never staying steady. You're never getting this figured out. Then that's a great place to sign up to work with me one-on-one as well. So there's a few options. You go to my link in bio and there's different clicks. If you want to just try my free little whole me program, that's a great place to start. We'll do the whole 30 together. We'll get you getting a little discipline, feeling like you're in control, and then maybe you'll be ready for the next thing. I know I rambled off those 7 inflammatory foods really fast, but there is a place in my link in bio where you can print that out. I've got a little article. You can print that out, and that's there for you at no charge. So other things, if you're a DIYer and you want to order a stool test, I have got on my website under affiliates and lab tests, you can order a stool test. Get going, get started. Then when those results come back, if you need me to jump in and help you, I'm here for you. If you want to take them somewhere else, that's fine. You own them, they're yours. You can do that as well. So those are little ways that you can work with me. Just quick looking to see if it's got any questions or comments. Just so you guys know, this is something that I've committed to doing. I will be here every Wednesday at this time for office hours. You can message me questions ahead of time. You can email me questions ahead of time. and I will address them. If right now I'm streaming in multiple locations, but eventually when I'm doing this a little bit different and I'm doing it just in my private group, then I'm going to ask you to come on camera with me. I am looking for a few of my clients that want to tell their story, that want to come on camera and tell their story. So if that's you, if you want to be brave and come on camera and talk to people, encourage people, and share your healing testimony, I would love to do that. So otherwise, I will see you all next week. Same time, same place. Get you